Hi guys, my name is Tamara of Tamara Fashion Style and welcome back to my channel. I know you guys haven't seen my face on my channel for a little while, but I am here, so that doesn't really matter. But yes, it does matter because you guys love to see my face on my channel. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now guys, if you are the first time subscriber, or the first time visiting my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to share my channel so that others can benefit as well, just as how you benefiting. If you are my returning subscriber, welcome back. Now today in this tutorial, I want to do a tutorial for my subscriber. Something more in details for my subscribers. So in today's class, I'm going to give my subscriber a surprise. Now, I'm going to do a detailed, more professional way pattern for you guys. And in today's episode, we're going to draft a sleeve the professional way. Now, remember, this is not just a hurry class. This is not just a quick tutorial. This is a more in-depth tutorial, which I'm going to show you here today. Now, what we are drafting, we're going to draft the sleeve. Now, we're going to do a sleeve, the full sleeve pattern in details in today's class. Now, you're going to need some notions to do this sleeve. But when we get to drafting the sleeve, I'm going to describe to you what you're going to need to draft this sleeve. Now, to all my subscriber and even new subscriber or who just visiting my channel or beginners, please pay attention to this class. This class is a more advanced intermediate class. This is not a beginner class, but if you don't know anything about sewing, check all my class for beginner. My channel, you will find quick tutorial because I already got sleeve tutorial on my channel, but that was the quick way. But in this class is a more advanced, a more intermediate class showing you how to draft a sleeve pattern the professional way. Now this is my way of drafting my sleeve. They have everybody do things different, everybody draft different, everybody sew different, everybody do everything different. Now we have a saying, we would say everybody store the pot different. So this is my way of storing my pot. So in today's class, I will show you how to draft a sleeve. Now, to all my followers and my subscribers, please pay attention to the detail of this class that I am about to show you. Look at every details that I am doing. Listen to everything that I am saying. If you have to write it down, take down a note, or rewatch the video before you start drafting. Because the reason why I'm telling you this, because I put all my effort and my best knowledge and my best ability into this class just for you guys. So at the end of this class, please rewatch this video, and if you have to rewatch it a million times to get the gist or to understand exactly what I am doing, because this is every detail I put into this class for you guys. So please, some of you would be messaging for ask what this for, what this is not for, what that not for. Listen, I put every detail into this class, so there is no need for you to message in me for ask me what that for, what you do this for, and what you ain't do this for. Because it's the same thing that I'm showing you in this class is the same thing I'm going to tell you. So please watch the video carefully. If you have to rewatch it 20 a million and one time, rewatch it so that you can learn. Because if you message me for asking me the same thing that I show you in the class, is the same thing what I show you, is the same thing I'm going to reply to you with. So take your time, stop hurrying. Don't hurry for rush through the class. The class will be a little lengthy class, but take your time and watch the class. try and understand what I am doing in this class, because this is a more in-depth classes. So please take your time. Patient, make patient is virtue. So with time, you're gonna learn things, but not all at once. So take one step at a time. So in this pattern drafting class, the sleeve class is a more in-depth detail class. So if you want to learn how to draft this sleeve, get a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of water, maybe a cup of juice or some chip, because you will get hungry during this class. So pay attention, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So before further ado, let's get started. And if you like this class, please, I would appreciate if you comment down below, because I take time out my busy schedule for do these classes for you guys. So I would really appreciate if you can leave your comment down below this video, plus give me some thumbs up, including your comment. So thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for being on this journey. And let's go over to the drafting table so that we can begin this class. And I'm going to show you, or I'm going to show you the notion that you will need for draft this sleeve pattern. It's not nothing much. You're supposed to have these things in your sewing room, right? If you don't have them, grab them and let's begin. So thanks for joining my channel. Enjoy the ride, and I will see you in class. Have a wonderful day, and thank you guys. So let's head over to the drafting table. So I will see you at the drafting table. Bye bye for now, and let's go to class. Enjoy. So guys, so welcome back to the new pattern making class, and in this class we're gonna do the sleeve. Now we do the bodice, we do the skirt, and today we're gonna do the sleeve. Now what we're gonna need for do the sleeve, we're gonna need some paper, of course, and as you can see I have some paper on my table which I put some scotch tape together, and I tape them together because I am using the printing paper, the 17 and a half by 11. So I put 4 of these sheets together to make one big sheet. You're going to need a paper, scissors. You're going to need something to mark with. You're going to need your arm measurement and your armhole measurement. I'm going to be using this to demonstrate. I'm going to use this arm to demonstrate. What you're going to need also, you're going to need both your front and the back of your armhole measurement. You're going to need a measuring tape. Right, so we're gonna begin drafting this sleeve. So let me show you how to measure to draft the sleeve. So I am using this sleeve here. Let me just move the paper a little so that you guys can see clearly. So I'll be using this arm to demonstrate, and we're gonna measure. Now the first measurement we're gonna need our bicep measurement. Now our bicep is the thickest part of our arm, and what I would advise you to do to take this measurement, fold your arm in half like this and measure the thickest part of your arm, which is around here. The reason why I fold my arm is because if I want to bend my elbow, maybe if I out and I want to bend my elbow, the sleeve won't be too tight. So bend your arm like this and take it around the thickest part of your bicep. So I'm going to take it, the thickest part of my bicep, and I'm going to measure this bicep. So measure around your bicep, and whatever measurement you get, you write that down. So we're going to need that measurement. Then we're going to need the length of the sleeve. Now forget the length of the sleeve. Bend your elbow a little, bend it like this, a little like this, and then you measure from the top right down to the elbow or the sleeve right here. So bend your elbow a little. So you're going to need from the top of the, by your bone, you know you have a bone right by your shoulder blade there, you will need that measurement. and then you're gonna need to the wrist. So whatever, right down to the wrist here, you're gonna need. So whatever is that measurement, write it down. The next measurement we're gonna need is from our shoulder to our elbow. So you're gonna measure to your elbow line, and you're gonna write that measurement down. Then we're gonna measure around our elbow, and you're gonna write that measurement down. You're gonna measure around the wrist of the sleeve, however long you want the sleeve, and you're gonna write that measurement down. So we need these measurements here, and then the next measurement we need the armhole measurement for the top. So we need both the back and the front armhole. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna get your measuring tape, and you're gonna measure around the top, the sleeve. You're gonna measure right away around. You're gonna measure right to the end of the dart, and you're gonna write this measurement down. The back, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna measure around the armhole, back armhole as well, and we're gonna write that measurement down. So let's begin drafting this sleeve. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get our ruler, and we're gonna make a straight line down the middle. So I'm gonna get my ruler, and we're gonna make a line. So we're gonna make a line. First, what we're gonna do, we're gonna fold this paper in half. So we're gonna fold this paper in half, and we're gonna crease this paper. I'm gonna fold it in half. And we're going to crease it. So fold your paper in half and crease the paper. And now when we open, we're going to get the line we deserve. So now on that line, we're going to draw in a line. I'm going to draw in a line. Let me get a marker to use where you guys can see. We're going to draw in this line. So we draw that line there. Alright, so when we finish drawing the line there, so now on this line, we're going to measure the length of the sleeve. So how long you want your sleeve. So let's come in here and let's take out, as we'll have to do some measuring now. So we're gonna measure in about 5 inches on this line, or 2.5 inches. So let's measure in from this line here, 2.5 inches. So this is gonna be the top of our sleeve here. All right, so let me measure it out. So this is going to be the top of our sleeve. So this is going to be the top of our sleeve. Now we need to measure the length of our sleeve, however long you want your sleeve from this line. So let's go down. My own going to be 22 inches. That's the length of my sleeve. So 22 inches is the length of my sleeve. So since 22 inches is the length of my sleeve, I'm going to square this line off. Alright, I'm going to square this line off, 22 inches. That's the length of my sleeve that I need. So I'm going to square this line off. So this will be from here to here would be the length of my sleeve. Alright. For your bicep measurement, you're gonna get your armhole. So remember, we measure the back armhole right away around, and we measure the front armhole. So we're gonna put the front and the back armhole together and total it. So for me, my front armhole is 9 and 5/8 inches, and my front armhole is 9 and 7/8 inches. All right. Plus we're gonna add 1 inch to this, right? So they're gonna be, for me, they're gonna be 20.5 inches in total. That is for the 2 armhole plus the ease. Because remember, 1 armhole is 9 and 7/8, 1 is 9 and 5/8. So I add the 2 together and I get the plus. I add 1 inches, because when I add the 2 together I get 19.5. So I'm gonna add 1 inch to that, so it's gonna be 20.5. So now whatever you get for your 2 armhole, add it together and add 1 inch to it. That is our ease. And then we're gonna divide the measurement by 3. So my own is 20, right? You might can't see it on my calculator. You may can't see it, but my total armhole is 19.5 plus 1 inches ease. So there's 20.5, right? And I'm going to divide it by 3. Divided by 3, that gives me 6.8. Now I'm going to round this off to a whole number. So I'm going to do 7 inches. So since I get 6.8, I'm going to round it off to a whole number, and I'm going to make it 7 inches. So whatever you get, if you get direct like 7 or 8, you're going to measure that down. But if you get like me, like in between, we're going to round it off. Like if you get 6 3/4, put your 6 3/4. If you get 6 5/8, put your 6 5/8. But since I get 6.8, I'm gonna round it off. I'm gonna put 2 centimeters more and round that off to 7 inches. So since I'm gonna round it off to 7 inches from the top of this line, I'm gonna measure down 7 inches for my bicep. So I'm gonna measure down 7 inches. That is for my bicep here. And I'm going to square that off. So I'm going to square that off. I'm going to square it off. So whatever you get, measure it down. If you have to round it off like me, round it off. And I'm going to round this off. So this would be my bicep line. Okay. Now we will do the elbow line. So on this line here now, we're gonna measure out the bicep line, the bicep measurement. Now remember, we measure around for the bicep, right? So we're gonna measure around for the bicep here. So whichever is the bicep you get, we're gonna measure around that, right? So for the bicep measurement, we're gonna put the bicep measurement on both ends here. So this bicep line here, we're gonna measure out. So on this top of this line here, we're gonna mark A. This bicep line gonna be B, right? And we're gonna measure out the measurement for the bicep. Now measure around where I show you here for the bicep, around this whole part here for the bicep, you measure around it. So let me show you again. You measure around the bicep. Measure around your bicep, and we're gonna divide it half for this line here. So since my own is 14, I'm gonna put 7 inches here, 7 inches here. I'm gonna put 7 inches on this end, and then I'm gonna come and put 7 inches on this end here. So how much ever is your bicep, divide it in half. So let me say your bicep is 15 inches. You're gonna divide it half. So you're gonna put from this middle line, you're gonna put 7.5 out here, and you're going to put 7.5 OT. Depends on how much is your bicep. Divide it in 2 and place it on both sides of the line. Right? Next, what we're going to do, we're going to add 1/2 inch to both of these line of these mark here. We're going to add 1/2 inch to it. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to add 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Okay, so this gonna be my bicep, and here is where I'm gonna connect my line from. All right, now we need to square a line down for this sleeve. Right, so get your ruler, and we're gonna square the line down. Okay, we're gonna line up, and we're gonna square down this line straight down. I'm going to square this line down to the end of the sleeve. We're going to do the same thing on the next side. We're going to square from the top to the bottom for the sleeve. So from our elbow, our bicep marking that we put, we're going to square this line down. Alright, I'm going to square this line. So we want the line to be square. So we get our sleeve. So there's the bottom of our sleeve, and this is the top of our sleeve. Now we need to get the elbow. Now how much is your elbow? Alright, now your elbow, you're going to measure from the top of your sleeve to your elbow. From the top of my sleeve to my elbow is 14 inches. Alright, so we're going to do 14 inches. So I'm going to make sure mine is 14 inches as well. Let me measure on me. Make sure my own is 13 inches. Let me make sure. So I'm gonna measure down for my sleeve, my elbow, which is 13 inches. Whichever is your elbow, measure down. So this is my elbow. 13 inches is my elbow. And we're gonna make a straight line. So we're gonna line this up again, and we're gonna square this line. We're gonna square this line. So this is my elbow line here. Okay, so this is my elbow line. So on this line, you're going to write elbow. Alright, this is the elbow line. So we're going to know this is the elbow line. Now we have to choose which one going to be our back and which one going to be our front. Now the one that facing me, this is going to be my back. And this one opposite me going to be my front. Going to be my front. So now we have to divide this line here by 2. We have to divide this line. So now we're going to grab our tape measure, and we're going to divide this line in 2. We're going to divide this one in 2. So grab your tape measure, and you're going to measure from here to this marking here. So we draw down the line, which is this marking. So my one is 8.5, 8.25. So I'm going to divide that in 2. So I'm going to, the easiest way is to fold my measuring tape and put it to the line. Put it to the line, and I'm going to divide that. So that is my half. The next side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to divide it in two. So I'm going to fold my measuring tape back, and I'm going to divide this. And I'm going to divide that in half. Now, since we come this far, we're going to draw a line straight up. So we're going to place our ruler, and we're going to draw this line straight up. We're going to draw this line right up. Okay? I'm going to draw this line up, and we're going to draw this line here up. Right, so we draw our line there. So now from point A, we're gonna go out 5 centimeters on each side. Let me give you it in inches. From point A, we're gonna go out 2 inches on each side. So from point A, which is on this line here, let me just zoom it in for you a little. Right, so from this line here, we're gonna go out 2 inches. So from this middle line, we're gonna go out 2 inches here, and we're gonna come 2 inches on this other side here. So we have this and we have that. Okay, so now we have to mark in the armhole. So we're gonna, for mark the begin curving the arm, we need the full length of the measurement of the armhole. Right, so we measure the back and the front armhole. We total the measurement together. So remember, my own was 20 and a half, because remember my back armhole measurement was 9 and 5/8. My front armhole measurement was 9 and 7/8. So I put it together and I get 19 and a half, plus I add 1 inches east to it, so it's 20 and a half. Now since I get 20 and a half is my total armhole, I'm going to divide this by 6, right? So 20 and a half divided by 6 would give me 3.4, which I'm going to add 3.5, which is going to be 3.5 inches. I'm going to add to my my measurement, 3.5 inches. I'm going to add to my measurement, and I'm going to add 5/8 inch to this measurement here, right? So since it's 3.5, and then I'm going to add 5/8 inch to the back of the measurement. So my measurement, I'm going to measure up 3.5 inches from here, from this line here, which is going to be points. It's going to be C, and front going to be V. So from C, and then you got D. So on the C line going up, I'm going to measure 3.5 inches, 3.5 inches, and plus I'm going to add the 5/8 inch to it, right? I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to add 5/8 inches to that. Okay, so my marking going to be here for the back. This is going to be the back marking. Now for the front marking, we won't add 5/8 inch. We're going to divide the same measurement. We're going to divide our full armhole, right? Which my own is 19.5, plus I add 1 inch, which is 20.5, and I want to divide that by 6, which is 3.5, going to come here. So my 3.5 going to come up onto the back. Now I'm not adding 5/8 inch to the back. I take it out, so it's going to be 3.5, which is the front going to be 3.5 plus 5/8, but the back will only be 3.5 for me. All right, so I measured it. So let me repeat for you. Measure around your back armhole, measure around your front armhole. Add the two measurements together and add 1 inches to it for ease, and you're going to divide it by 6, right? Whatever measurement you get after you divide it by 6, add 5/8 inch to it and place it from C going upward to the line, and you put your mark. For the front, we're going to divide the same armhole measurement, the total armhole measurement. We're going to add 1 inch to it. We're going to divide it by 6, and we're going to put the remaining measurement here. We are not putting the 5/8 easy. We only put the 5/8 ease on the back. So on the front is the total armhole divided by 6, right? The total armhole measurement. You're going to add 1 inch to the total armhole measurement for the front. You're going to divide it by 6, and whatever measurement you get, you're going to put it on the front. Okay? Now, since we got these marking, we're going to join from we have to join these marking. So you're going to get your ruler, and you're going to join from this to this, right? We're going to join all these marking here together. We're going to join. So we're going to join these lines. So from this corner here, we're going to take our ruler, we're going to join here, we're going to join here, and we're going to join here by A. So I'm going to get my ruler, and I'm going to join this line here. I'm going to join here by A, and now I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to join here. I'm going to join here from this line to that line. Okay, so you see the front have a kind of a curve. The front is not straight. So we're going to come back, join that, and then we're going to come and you're going to join that back. So the front have a little different curve, right? So this is what our sleeve will look like. Now we have to curve this sleeve. We have to do a little adding out as well to curve the sleeve. So now what we're going to do, we're going to find half of each section. Half of this, half of this, half of this, half of this. So we're going to find half of each. So grab your measuring tape, and you're going to measure from this point to this point, and we're going to divide it in 2. So we're going to divide that in 2, right? Same thing with this one here. Find the halfway point. Divide it in 2. Same thing with this one here. Find the halfway point. Divide it in 2. Same thing with this one here. Find the halfway point. Divide it in 2. Okay, so we have this marking here, this marking here, we have this marking, and we have this marking here. So now onto the front, we're gonna come down 5/8 of an inch. From the front, we're gonna come in, right? We're gonna come into the sleeve, like going to the elbow line. We're gonna come in 5/8 of an inch, right? 5/8 of an inch. We're gonna come in, right? And then we're gonna go out 3/4 of an inch. So we're gonna go out 3/4 of an inch on the same front, going to the D line. We're gonna go out 3/4 of an inch, and we're gonna come in 5/8 of an inch. This is on the front, right? Where we divide the 2 armhole here. So what you can do, since this we can mark this, right? So we have all this here, right? So onto the back, we're gonna do the same. So for the back of the armhole, we're going to come in 5/8 of an inch. We're going to come in for the back 5/8 of an inch, and we're going to go out 5/8 of an inch for the back. All right, we're going to go out 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so for the front, we're going out 3/4 of an inch, and we're coming in 5/8 of an inch. For the back, we're going out 5/8 of an inch, and we're coming in 5/8 of an inch. So we can mark it 3/4, right? This is 3/4 of an inch. We can put here 3/4. This is 5/8. This is 5/8, and this is 5/8. Right? So you can mark it so you will know. So now you're gonna grab your curve rule. So we have to get our curve rule to connect these lines. So you're gonna get your curve rule, and we're gonna connect the curve. We're going from this point here. We're gonna cut there. The curve touch the 5/8 of an inch, and we're gonna curve it into D. All right. So you're gonna get it. Let touch the 5/8 of an inch, and we're gonna let curve. Hold on. We're gonna let curve in to D. Okay. So we curve that in there. So this is how we curve this line here. Now we're gonna flip our ruler, and we're gonna connect this curve. We're gonna connect this, and we're gonna bring this out here. All right, we have to connect that. So I'm gonna grab your curve rule, and we're gonna connect this to this to this. Now remember, we flip the curve this way for drawing this section. We're gonna flip the curve this way to draw in this section. So we're connecting here, here to this line here. So get your ruler and make sure it come and it touch the lines, and we're gonna draw that in. Okay, make sure it touch the A line and it touch. So we're gonna come and we're gonna draw that back in like that. So you see we get our curve. We're gonna do the same to the other side. We're gonna come in, right? We're gonna come in, we're gonna touch, and we're gonna come in. So with the curve, we're gonna do here, here, and here. So get your curve and make sure it touch that line. So you're gonna come in like that. All right. So you see this have a different curve to that curve. If the back look like a little curve here, right? But once it touch the line, so you're gonna flip your ruler again, and you're gonna do the same. You're gonna connect A to the line out here, and then you come back to this line, and we're gonna draw in this line here. All right. We draw this line here. If it didn't touch A, it must touch the A. And this is our sleeve. So this is what our sleeve look like. This is what you should have as your sleeve. Now we're gonna put some notches on this sleeve. So for the back of the sleeve, we're gonna put 2 notches. So I'm gonna just find an area, and I'm gonna put 2 notches on the sleeve. Alright, 1, and then I'm gonna come down 1/2 inch to the next sleeve. So this is gonna be the back of the sleeve, and this is gonna be the front of the sleeve, where I'm gonna place a next notches, a notch at the front of the sleeve. Alright, so now we're gonna finish off this sleeve. So So now you can leave your sleeve like this, or you can come in the width of your arm, your bicep, which I gonna put the width of my bicep, which I wanna measure out from the middle line. This is the middle line. I'm gonna measure out here 7 inches, and I'm gonna measure out the other one 7 inches, because when I measure here is 7. So I'm gonna make this 7.5 inch, 7.5 inch on both sides, 7.5 inch. So now you're gonna get your ruler, and we're gonna connect from this line to the line that we draw in. All right, so get your ruler and you're gonna connect. You're gonna connect 7.5 inches to this line here, and you're gonna draw in this here. I'm doing it with a different marker for you that you guys see. All right, so I'm gonna come in 7.5 inch from the middle line. I'm gonna measure out 7.5 inches from the middle line to the underarm. All right, and we're gonna straighten our line now for the sleeve. So this is our sleeve here. So now we cut in here. Let me just trace where we cut in. So this is what our arm will look like. We just trace it out, show you what our arm will look like. So this is our armhole. This is our armhole. And now we're gonna, this will act as our green line here. We're gonna put a green line on this. So this would be our green line here. Or you can put it on this side here, or any side you want to put it, you can put your green line. Let's see, you want to put it here. So this would be your green line. And this is your sleeve. Sleeve, there's your sleeve, and you could mark your name on it. I'm gonna mark my name. So that's my sleeve. So now we're gonna cut out this sleeve. So now we're gonna cut out this pattern. Cut out our sleeve. So now this is what our sleeve will look like. So this is our sleeve. So when you fold your sleeve or sew your sleeve, this is what your sleeve gonna look like. So this would be our sleeve. Here. This would be what our sleeve would look like. Alright. So here we finished drafting the sleeve. So I hope I was able to make this class easy and quick for you. If you have any question, please leave the comment down below this video and I will get back to you, or please send me a message. So here is your sleeve that we draw. So in this class we do the basic sleeve. Now don't put any seam allowance on this sleeve yet. In our further video we're going to copy this sleeve, we're going to trace it over, and we're going to add seam allowance. So far in the classes you have done your sleeve, you have done your basic bodice, which is the front and the back, and you have done your basic skirt as well. And you have done your basic skirt. So you have your front and your back skirt, right? You have your back, you have your front, you have your back bodice, you have your front bodice, and you have your sleeve. So far in this class you have done pretty well. You reached very far in the classes, and thank you for joining my classes, and thank you for your support. And I'm happy with the rate that you are going and the progress that you are making. I'm very happy. So this is all for these classes, and I will see you in my next classes. Bye bye for now, and enjoy your day. Bye.